I've got a doozy for you today, Nez Nation. Our man, you know him, I know him, we all love him. The new border czar, Tom Homan. Watch as he absolutely paralyzes and stuns CNN host Cassie Hunt in this amazing clip where he actually says, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to enforce the law. And I don't care what Denver mayor or what leftist politician gets in my way. I'm happy to jail you. We have one thing in common. You want to go to jail? And I'm happy to put you there. Watch this.
And the U.S. Army or the Navy SEALs into Denver to pursue folks to pull them off the job at hotels or restaurants where they're working, or pull kids off the soccer field. I think we will see Denverites and folks around the country who will nonviolently resist that.
Me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail.
Oof. Mike Dubke, I mean, look, it's very clear the country is very unhappy with the way immigration has been playing out. They're concerned about the security at the border. Where do you think the Trump administration and how can they stay with Americans on that without, I mean, some of the measures they're talking about, I mean, that language of like, if you harbor somebody, we will find you. If the Denver mayor wants to go to jail, I mean, that has some significant and more extreme echoes than some of what we heard from the Trump campaign on the trail.
No, wrong, Cassie Hunt. He didn't say if you harbor, we're going to come after you. All he's saying is that he's going to enforce the law. All he's saying is he's going to clean up the egregious, unbelievably lawless mess, chaos that you, the propagandist media, that Biden-Harris, that Obama, Soros, Clinton, the entire anti-American extreme radical left cabal have created. You guys have mortally wounded America, both psychologically, emotionally, financially, but literally. I take Laken Riley and Jocelyn Nungare, just to name a few. Their Christmases, over. Their Thanksgiving, over. Holidays, over. Their birthdays, over. Any celebratory memories, over. They live in utter, unabashed, eternal darkness, thanks to you and your egregious policy. So again, you look at how they bend the narrative. Boy, she gives this real kind of histrionic, overdramatic face. My goodness, somebody actually enforcing the law? Holy macadamia nut, what's that all about? We're not used to people actually upholding the law and the Constitution of the United States. His very first pick, Donald Trump, as soon as he became president-elect, his very first pick, it wasn't Secretary of Defense. No, it wasn't the Attorney General. No, it wasn't Secretary of Treasury. No, it wasn't leader of FDA or CDC. No. His very first pick was, I announce new border czar, because he knew that Tom Homan not only is the best person for the job, but he knew the American people. The American people have spoken on November 5th in a universal, defiant, triumphant mandate. I'll talk about this in just a second if you want to get one of these 100% original made in the USA amazing new designs we have in our shop. The American people have spoken, and you guys continue with this narrative. My goodness. Oh, that sounds like we're going to come after you. That sounds like, what are you going to do? You're going to make comparisons to to Hitler or some kind of tyrannical despot or dictator? Because that's what it sounds like you're doing. You got to pick up on this stuff. It's very, very subtle. Somehow or another, they actually think, I mean, first of all, these libtards that want to get in the way of Tom Homan and the mandate made by the American people and President Donald Trump enacting his legislation and policies, these guys deserve to be behind bars. How dare you? You harbor a criminal migrant who is here illegally. You break the law. Are they above the law? Are they different from everyday normal Americans? Look, if I break the law, if I, make a traffic violation or steal something, or God forbid, unalive somebody, don't I need to face consequences? If I harbor an illegal criminal migrant in my house and I get found out, aren't I liable? So why are these guys not liable? Tom Homan is just simply doing one thing. He's like an amazing, much needed garbage guy. He's taking the trash out. You guys put the trash here. You guys let the trash in. We're just taking it out. That's all we're doing. It's called upholding the Constitution and upholding the law. And as if you needed more justification as to this unbelievable, scandalous, murderous, it's so bad what they've done to our country with the worst border crisis in the history of our country. Take a look at this report right here. Venezuelan gangs, thanks to Biden-Harris flying them in every single day, giving them the red carpet to come into our country, unvetted, unscreened. Remember, I'm not against, and neither is President Trump, neither is Tom Homan. It's called legal immigration. Yes, this country was built on immigrants, legal immigrants who went through the correct protocol, processes, and systems. My parents came to this country in the early 70s. They had to earn their citizenship. They had to work their asses off. They had to contribute to society. They had to prove. They got their PhDs. They contributed. They worked hard. They paid their taxes. That's earned citizenship, not handed out so you guys can steal another election. Check out this report. You thought it was bad in Ohio? You thought it was bad in Springfield? You thought it was bad in Aurora? Well, guess what, folks? The Biden-Harris catastrophe is spreading like wildfire. Watch this.
Venezuelan gang activity across the city. Police believe some gang members are recruiting children living in migrant shelters. As Jennifer Bisram reports, the gang has blended in with asylum seekers who began arriving here in 2022.
Once they commit their crimes, they go back to the migrant community where they assimilate themselves with people that are actually here obeying the laws.
The NYPD is cracking down on Tren de Aragua, the Venezuelan gang they say is living in the shelter system and recruiting children.
We have 39 members of TDA that have been identified, and we have an additional 4 members that have been identified of a subgroup called the Little Devils of 42nd Street.
42nd Street.
Yeah, those are much younger kids.
And those are just the members police have been able to identify.
We have no fingerprints on file for them. We have no photographs on file for them. We have no prior criminal history on them. They swap out their IDs. We have no way of tracking or knowing who they are when they enter the country.
The NYPD's chief of detectives says undocumented criminals as young as 11 years old are carrying out retail robberies and committing crimes on scooters, snatching people's jewelry, watches, and cell phones at gunpoint and knife point. Over 300 incidents last year, more than 800 so far this year. They've brazenly shot at police officers too.
When we do make arrests and we're able to charge them on 4, 5, 6 incidents, when they go before a judge in New York City and their arrest record is run, they show no prior criminal history. They're released on their own recognizance, they're not offered bail, and they're released back into the public.
Some migrant mothers we spoke to say they fear their boys will be forced into the world of crime.
People have warned us to be careful with the child because they are recruiting younger children. It worries me a lot.
Arada Piera and her 11-year-old son Dylan live in a Manhattan migrant shelter. They arrived from Colombia last year. When she's not volunteering at Metro Baptist Church, she's with her son, warning him of the dangers of gangs.
We're afraid he will get recruited and they will force and manipulate him to do bad things, things that will get him into trouble.
Power Malou, co-founder of Resources, Opportunities, Connections, and Community, is trying to keep migrant kids off the street by creating youth programs, including a soccer club.
I absolutely know that the soccer program is important for the kids to be able to get involved with something where they feel like they belong and they're having fun as kids, being able to support each other, build community, and stay away from the streets and be able to not have to get into the violence and get into the gang activity.
Over 60 kids ages 5 to 14 have been enrolled so far, including Dylan.
It's fun because we get to eat pizza and I have so many friends and we play.
He says he wants no part of the gang life.
I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be bad. I want to be good helping the people.
Malou says more resources and spaces are needed to help the nearly 22,000 migrant kids in city shelters. That's 38% of the migrant population currently in the system.
The newest New Yorkers are coming here and they don't have any programs for them. So then they're looking to do something. They're looking for something to do. So they're easy targets.
In the meantime, the NYPD is working with its federal partners to curb the growth of the gang violence sprouting at some migrant shelters, spilling onto city streets, and in some cases, detectives say, even among migrant families who are also becoming targets.
What we're also seeing is the majority of the migrant community sometimes themselves are the victims of crimes. They're preyed upon by these gangs. And there's a reluctance to report it sometimes because they feel that that might get them deported or that might get them in trouble with the police.
And police say they're also seeing the Venezuelan gang recruit migrants who are here from other countries as well. They say it's very important to note that there is a small percentage of the migrants here committing the majority of the crime.
Yeah, Cassie Hunt from CNN. I'd say I have absolutely 100% confidence in Tom Homan, and I absolutely support every decision he makes to jail all of you guys who are getting in the way of cleaning up this vapid, insane mess that you created. By the way, this report right here, this is just the latest. There are cities all over our country right now that are facing this. I'm in California. I know what you're going to say. Don't even start. I'm with you. I can't stand Newscomb either. LA City, LA County, San Diego County, our border, out of control. Crime, out of control. This is just the latest. It's getting worse. They're still flying people in here. Biden is still having an open border policy because he's an absolute vegetable and he's not even in control. And where is the border czar? Isn't she the vice president? She went to Hawaii. She made some drunken rant. I mean, this is a catastrophe. We have faced the dark ages for the past 4 years, and the people have finally spoken on November 5th, and we have had enough. So Cassie Hunt, save your drama queen histrionics, save your ridiculously skewed and biased rhetoric. The American people aren't having it anymore. And as long as I've got air in my lungs, I'm going to keep exposing you guys until legacy media finally dies a conclusive and final death. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know in the comments down below. If you want to get one of these, in the pinned comment, we've got a ton of new designs. We even got this one. This is one of my favorite. We are so back. These are 100% original, made in the USA designs. We got hats, hoodies, mugs, stickers, backpacks, fanny packs, water bottles, you name it, shirts, long sleeve hats, trucker hats, etc., etc. Go check them out in the pinned comment or just go to ProfessorNez.com/merch. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here if you haven't seen them already. Tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. It's free. Please tap the thumbs up. It only takes you a nanosecond. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA. I'll see you soon.